Hello NYWCites! I am the administrator of the NYWC message board, Robert Lottie. Fusion 2015 is in the history books, and I will say it topped last year's, and it was an awesome time had by all. The show begins with the tournament matches for the vacant Fusion title as Tony Mama Luke with CJ Bambino in his corner defeated the Black G's in a good opening matchup. The other tournament matchup saw Chainsaw Joe Gacy defeat Tyler J-Ro Murphy, and it appeared that Tyler legitimately injured his knee, and on 2 points in the matchup, the action had stopped as the referee was checking on him. But, you know, definitely a lot of credit goes to Tyler Murphy on that one. Then in a 6-man tag team action, the Man of Steel Mike Verna, Indestructible Joey Tell, and Talon defeated A-listers Alvin Alvarez, Ultimo Maya, and Jay Red. Immediately after the match ended, A-lister Kano hit the ring, and it was a 4-on-3 attack. The A-listers were, I guess, anticipating someone else to come through the curtain as they stopped the attack, as they looked to the curtain for someone else to come out, and no one did, and then they continued the attack, and then eventually the A-listers left the ring. Next matchup, we saw seasoned veteran Monster Mac defeat Nate Carter, and I don't know who was in Carter's corner for this one. I do remember fans were all over Carter, and I don't know if that was his tag partner or manager with him, being eaten alive by people chanting "New Day sucks" at them. Then in next matchup, we saw former TNA superstar Jesse Neal defeat Angelo Andrews in a good competitive match right there. And then it was a title match time. Well, just as Flawless and Lawless were ready to challenge Milk Chocolate for the tag team championship, they showed up on the screen, Milk Chocolate on their cell phone with DJ Hyde, and saying they were paying Hyde money to ensure that they would be tag team champions forever, and that did not sit well with Flawless and Lawless on that one, and they were going to town on Milk Chocolate. Eventually, DJ Hyde hits the ring, and eventually Flawless and Lawless cleared the ring of Hyde and the tag team champions. The match was pretty much a no contest. Blake Morris got the microphone, and he says, "Brandon Watts, you broke my heart." And he tells Hyde he's a snake in the grass, and saw right through him. And then Morris tells Hyde, "I know there's someone you fear, and come next month, you're going to have to deal with him as he's joining force. He's going to team up with us, and that's Bulldozer Matt Tremont for a Long Island street fight." And that's taking place as a Saturday night, June 20th, as NYWC presents Going the Distance. I certainly hope I can make that show. So after all of that skirmish ended, it was intermission time. And during intermission, NYWC co-owner Shane and many on the staff were getting the ring set for the Pub Crawl Brawl. This was a very innovative idea, I will say, and it was contested with Braden Knight with TJ Marconi in his corner taking on former tag partner JT Kaysen. In this matchup, Kaysen had just come through the curtain and he just chugged a beer. Marconi exits the ring, he's going after him, but Kaysen was ready for him as he used a taser or a stun gun on him. And then it resulted in a lot of stuff. At one point, I think beer got all over Jessica and I don't know if it was spilled beer or whatever, but look, as I said after that happened, I said, good thing I got the haircut. Among weapons they used cue sticks, a dartboard, a high-definition television, which didn't break, believe it or not. What else? Oh, they would, I think at one point, out on the floor, Kaysen was playing some beer pong. I'd like to play that someday. what else did they do? Other stuff that was involved. They had like bar stools within the ring. Some beer logos on like metal beer logos on metal signs, hitting each other in the head with that. I know Braden bled in that one. I think the end came when Kaysen put Knight through the high definition TV set up on. Tried to put him through the TV set up on two chairs. The TV did not break, and Knight could not answer the 10 count, and JT Kaysen was victorious in the pub crawl brawl. Hope that happens again someday. Up next, we saw singles action as the demonic juggernaut Apollyon went one-on-one with the stallion Anthony Lacerra. During this matchup, Apollyon was out on the floor, and King Mega returned to NYWC since Psycho Circus the 13th, and he was about to nail Lacerra with the chokeslam, but then out of the blue came Francis Kipling Stevens, who took King Mega down with, I think, a swinging bulldog, which Spike Dudley was known for, and I think Kip gave Brian Vitko the finger, and I believe Francis went out the back door. Eventually, after things got calmed down, Apollyon managed to get the win over Lacerra, and after it was over, Apollyon, Mega, Vitko, and Crusher Dugan appeared to be arguing and say, "Hey, he was gone. What's happening?" And Vitko's trying to point the finger at others, and I don't know if that's, if trouble's brewing in the land of the deadly sinners. Speaking of which, where was Casanova Valentine? I thought he was going to have a match on the show. Then it was time for the finals of the Fusion title tournament, as we saw Chainsaw Joe Gacy defeat Tony Mama Luke to be crowned the new Fusion champion. I wonder where this will sit with former Fusion champion No Fear Mike Mondo. Damn it. I forgot to mention this. As the ring was being cleaned up after the pub crawl brawl, newly crowned Starlet champion Brittany Savage came out, and she mentioned about Sammy Pickles was not in her league. Pickles appears, attacks Brittany right in front of us, and they whipped each other to the guardrails, and they brawled around ringside. It ended when Brittany ultimately whipped Pickles through the curtain leading backstage. Hopefully nobody was right behind that curtain when it happened. And right after that ended, it was announced that Brittany Savage will defend the Starlet Championship against Sammy Pickles on Saturday, June 20th, as NYWC Going the Distance. Once again, I hope I can make that show. And that was pretty interesting right there. Up next, the Premier Gods, Anthony Nese and the Greek god Papa Don, come out and said they had reunited. But then all of a sudden, out comes making their return to NYWC, the Beaver Boys, Alex Reynolds and John Silver, and they had a match right then and there, and the Beaver Boys defeated the Premier Gods in a great tag team matchup. Then it was main event time in the Sportatorium, as the Big O defended the Heavyweight Championship against the Devil's Outlaw Stockade. This was a very good matchup, and it was kind of a crowning moment as the Devil's Outlaw Stockade defeated the Big O to become the new heavyweight champion, and Stockade, who actually started with NYWC just over a decade ago. I mean, it's definitely well deserved, and he got the win, and he's the new champion. I don't know what this means, because now with Stockade as champion, I don't know what's going on here, and I'm not sure what they're going to go from there. But it's time for the personal notes. Great seeing Jessica. Jim Lundis, who I don't know if he was even at the show, because he wasn't timekeeping. Great seeing Neil, John Kurz, Shane, Steve, Greg and Sarah Gruber, Brian Edelman, who I had not seen in quite some time at a show, James McGrady, David Poppy, Griffin Brown. Who else do I remember seeing at this event? Fred, Joey, Vinny. can't remember what else. Okay, I guess it's time for some memorable quotes. This is for you, big man. Tony Mama Luke, after he pointed at me, hitting a belly-to-back suplex on the Black G's, and that move has stood the test of time. Referee's always messing with Italians. CJ Bambino during Mama Luke's match with Chainsaw Joe Gacy. I don't want my picture taken! John Silver, while he was, I think it's some kind of submission hold from either Tony Nese or Papa Don. Now, what I want to address right now is a safety issue. During the pub crawl brawl, Braden Knight swung a chair and he missed JT Case and hit the ring post and it went flying in the crowd. I think there should have been maybe some safety precautions taken in that matchup. You know, maybe if security was like around the ringside area for that one. As mentioned, NYWC presents Going the Distance Saturday night, June 20th. Again, I hope I can make this show. And we already have 2 matches announced, as there will be a Long Island Street fight pitting Flawless and Lawless, teaming up with the Bulldozer Matt Tremont as they go up against the Lariat DJ Hyde and current tag team champions Milk Chocolate. Also, Brittany Savage will be defending the Starlet Championship against Sammy Pickles. I would like to see newly crowned Fusion Champion Chainsaw Joe Gacy go one-on-one with the former Fusion Champion No Fear Mike Mondo. I'd like to see an 8-man tag team match with all 4 A-listers against Man of Steel Mike Verna, Talon, Indestructible Joey Tell, and I don't know who they can get for a partner. By the way, I forgot to mention it was great seeing and talking with Dawn. Well, I guess Braden Knight and TJ Marconi are pretty much going to be a team now. I'd like maybe see them face the Premier Gods or the Beaver Boys. Newly crowned champion Stockade. I don't know what. Maybe. Oh, actually, no, I do. Newly crowned champion Stockade one-on-one with the Big O in a return bout. Who else did I remember seeing at this event? Yeah, but I don't know. Can't really think of any other matches I would like to see. Well, here's another memorable quote. Hey, Baldy. Jim Lundis, when he saw me at the after party with the haircut I got. Drat. I'm trying to think what else I was going to mention here. Drat. Well, I do say it was, you know, the surprise of the Beaver Boys returning and Francis Kipling Stevens. I mean, that was definitely good. As Shane, as I said to you at the after party, I sure hope there'll be at least one match announced every show. Every show now, I hope there'll be at least one match announced for the next show. I mean, that's what I really enjoy about. I really get thrilled when that happens. You know, you have the match. You know, like announce at least one match at a show coming for the next show. Okay. Oh man. Blah blah blah. Shoot. But makes me wonder, where does JT Kaysen go from here now that he has settled things with Braden Knight? Well, I know, it seems like there's always more questions. Or like that song from the early 80s says, one thing leads to another. I forgot who sang that, but it's such a classic. Yeah, we didn't see Casanova Valentine. Didn't see the Grim Reaper. Let me see who else was not seen. Now, we knew Mike Mondo wasn't going to be there. Yeah, that's pretty much all I can think of. But I do want to say, another great night of NYWC, and Fusion's in the books, and again, I hope I make it to Going the Distance on Saturday night, June the 20th. NYWC rules!